You're watching 5 Star Live, presented by East Tennessee Spine and Sport. Tennessee's #1 high school football show. Live on location from the biggest game of the week. Live interviews from coaches and players, along with highlights, predictions, and up-to-date information about this week's biggest games. Your hosts, Jesse Smithy and Kevin, are live.
Are you ready for some football?
We're ready for some football, baby.
Presented by East Tennessee Spine and Sport. Jesse Smithy along with Kevin Smith. Our halftime report. We are doing our playoff war room show as we typically do this time of year, week 11 of the high school football season. That's the final week of the regular season, and so we stay here. We monitor games all night long. We got our big screen back there. We're flipping back and forth. There's so many different games, critical games in terms of playoff implications in the area. And Kevin, let's get to some of the games tonight. Oak Ridge right now, a 20-0 lead late first half against Campbell County. I think we thought Campbell County would put some points on the board, and they probably will, but right now Oak Ridge turning them over, getting interceptions on that sophomore quarterback, and right now it's all Oak Ridge.
Yeah, and you were right in the pregame show. This is the strength of Oak Ridge. That secondary, they're very talented, and they're showing right now how talented they are, and it's not going well for Campbell County. They got to find a way to sustain some drives and get some big plays to get back in this.
Yeah, so if Oak Ridge wins this game, they will be the 2 seed. As bad of a season as they've had, they'll level up their record, I believe, at 5-5 and host a first-round playoff game next week, I think, against Ray County. So what a fun matchup that would be. Mark Pemberton, a guy that you know very, very well, runs that wing T offense. They got some dudes. And look, Ray County's record doesn't look good on paper.
Yeah.
But you don't want to face them, do you?
No, and that's the hard part. You're already having to get your kids up for a team that's, they look at the papers, they see what everything's going on, they look online, they know what the record is. You're already battling the record, and now you're battling the offense. And something that we've talked about, it's hard to get ready in a 3 or 4 day stretch.
Yep. Dobyns-Bennett leads Science Hill 21-20. You say, why are we talking about that? They're 2 hours away. This game will be for the region championship and the 1 seed. So the 4 seed out of the Maryville region, whether that's Bearden or Bradley Central or whoever, will have to go on the road and face the winner of Dobyns-Bennett and Science Hill. And there's still a scenario where Maryville could finish as a 3 seed, have to go on the road to face the loser of that game. So right now it would be Science Hill, but Science Hill doing a really good job of staying in that game. Also looking around the area, Jefferson County leading West Ridge tonight. Jefferson County trying to improve its stock up there in Region 1 6A, trying to get that 3 seed. Isaiah Hall, the quarterback we've talked about so much, is having himself a night. 9 of 9 passing, 224 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Spencer Riley got to be happy about that.
Yeah, and this is a team that's been up and down with injuries, and a team that they've figured out some special teams. They know they have a running game. If they can have complementary football with the quarterback being healthy and as good as he is with that running game and the offensive line, they've got enough defense to make a little bit of a run here, Jesse, if they can continue to get a little confidence going forward.
If they get that 3 seed, they're going to have to face Farragut or Maryville or somebody like that in the first round. Jefferson County hasn't won a playoff game in a long, long time. People don't realize that, but I think it's like 02 or 03. So they're up right now 35-14 over West Ridge. Gibbs, senior night at Carson Newman. They got the black helmets. They're treating them to a special night, and they're responding. They're up 30-7 on South Doyle in the first half. Looks like Gibbs is going to secure that playoff spot.
Yeah, and no shock here. This is a good football team that's won some big games and been in some shootouts that they could have won that they didn't. This is a scary little team that I would not be happy to see in the playoffs. Hard to get prepared for. They do a lot of different things offensively. Again, they play just enough defense. They've proven, Jesse, they can win in shootouts. They've proven they can win a closer game. So this is a team that would be scary in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, but there was still that kind of outside shot that crazy things could happen tonight, and Gibbs can miss the playoffs. So I'm happy for them. They haven't had their stadium all year long, and for them to be able to play a playoff game, just kudos to them, and great for that community up there in Coreyton. One of the games that we've been watching back there is Carnes and Clinton. Carnes leads 22-14 at the half. Kevin, we watched them fumble in the red zone. I mean, they could easily be up 2 to 3 scores right now.
Yeah, Deshaun Bishop has come out to play tonight. And something else we have commented on off the air has how well they're passing the football tonight. They're doing a really good job getting guys out on wheel routes. They've got wide open receivers. Quarterback's doing a good job hitting them. This Karns defense has played just enough offense. They've given up a couple of runs there to Clinton's offense. But Karns and Deshaun Bishop showing out tonight. And Deshaun, you just kind of feel it, man. He knew which team shut him down last year. He's on a mission tonight.
Yeah, he's probably got more yards tonight than he had last year. I think Clinton held him to 101 yards last year in the final week of the regular season on a year where had he had a monster night, 250, 300 yards, he would have broken that all-time record and kind of looking back on it, but just didn't get it going that night. He's got it going tonight. But Karns had outside hopes of getting a 2 seed. They needed Oak Ridge to lose tonight. Right now, that's not looking like it's going to be the case. Looks like Karns is going to be a 3 seed.
They need a lot of help. They need Campbell County to score some 80-yarders in a hurry.
Yeah, and they'll have to go on the road to face some team probably down in the Chattanooga area. They're in the first round. Webb and Chattanooga Christian tied at the half, 14-14. We thought this would be a good game, and it is.
Yeah, we thought it'd be a close one. And we talked about Webb's defense. This is kind of the game where you really find out. Everybody talks about their stars offensively, how explosive they are, how good the quarterback is in Charlie Robinson, and what he can do with his legs and his arm. It's the defense that I was really interested in seeing tonight. They're living up to the billing. Jesse, they're really playing well. They're holding a Chattanooga Christian offense that is potent, has players all over the place, including quarterback and running backs. This is a really good football game, and it's coming down for a region championship here in the second half.
What I like is all the stars are coming out to play. You mentioned Charlie Robinson. He put Webb ahead 6-0 on a touchdown, and then Boo Carter, the player that everybody's been talking about in East Tennessee this year and around the state, he came back with a big 19-yard touchdown run. So, again, at the half, 14-14, Webb, Chattanooga Christian. The winner gets a 1 seed, a first-round bye, but again, they're in the lower half of the bracket with Lipscomb Academy. If you lose this game, you have to play next week. You get to play at home, but you don't have to see Lipscomb Academy unless you make it to the state championship game.
It's really hard. It's really hard to go through that and think through that and kind of have in your mind, maybe we do want to possibly not win this game to go to to get to the state championship. But hey, the silver lining is, number one, you're going to be the region champions. It's a championship night there at Webb, and an opportunity to play at home against Lipscomb Academy. And this is football's a crazy game, Jesse. You never know. Things happen when teams go on the road. It is an opportunity to play at home if you're the 1 seed.
Powell and Lenore City, this game doesn't mean anything at all. Powell's already got the 1 seed wrapped up, but it's 14-14 at the half. This Lenore City team had a big win last week over Heritage, had a running back rush for over 300 yards. Gary Duggar, he's got the mullet. He's from Florida, Alabama. He's up here this first year in Tennessee with Lenore City, and they've won 3 games in a row coming into this game.
Hey, they're doing a really good job offensively, running the football. They're getting in some crazy formations that Powell's having a hard time adjusting to and getting set up defensively. The one thing that Lenore City's struggling to do, though, is stop Powell's passing game. They're letting receivers, Redmond and Green, get behind them one after the other, and Potts is throwing great balls. But this is a scary game for Powell. This is one of the, you don't want to drop one going into the playoffs.
Right, yep. They're the 1 seed coming out of Region 3 5A. They will host the first-round matchup next week. Let's look around the area some more. Gatlinburg-Pittman facing Pigeon Forge, rivalry game at Pigeon Forge. They're up 21-7 at the break, and looks like GP is going to get that 2 seed, get that home playoff game next week.
Yeah, good football team. You want to stay at home as long as you can until you get to Alcoa.
Final game here as we get in our halftime report. Maryville on the road at Bradley Central. A lot of people looking at this game. Maryville has to win it to win a region championship. If they don't, looks like they might fall to a 3 seed. They are leading at the half, 13-10 at Bradley Central. Gage Ledoux, the running back that we discussed in the pregame, the backup to Noah Vaughn, he's got a touchdown tonight. They're running the football extremely well. And again, they're going to have to win ugly.
Yeah, and we talked about this game being close. Their strength is the offensive line in the running game, not necessarily pass protection. But we've talked about it being clean on special teams, causing turnovers defensively, making it a field position football game, and then let the kicking game, let that rushing attack bleed time off the clock, and they may have to win by a field goal or a late touchdown. But this is going to be a team that you're seeing. The one thing about Maryville, Jesse, even with all the injuries and things that have been going on this year, it's a championship program. They know how to win. And when you're put in these situations, a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, the team that's been there, done that, knows how to win, finds a way to win the game, not lose the game.
Still, it was startling after the West loss the other night to hear Derek Hunt with his team rallied around him in the postgame talk about being all in on the program and just all these cliches that you hear at programs that are trying to get their guys all on the same page. And they've never faced adversity like this, at least not in the last 20 years, where they could fall all the way to a 3 seed, play on the road in the first round of the playoffs. Maryville always plays at home. They're always in the semifinals or the state championship, and that's just not a given this year. So it's a surreal year. I use the term bizarro world quite a bit, and so we'll see if they can pull out that win on the road tonight at Bradley Central. Kevin, appreciate all the effort in the pregame show and the halftime show tonight. Stick with us, everybody. We're going to come back when all the games are over. We're going to unveil all the area playoff matchups for the first round of the TSSAA playoffs, which start next week, and it's going to be a fun night as we continue to monitor all the progress and all the games around the area. Start new. With us, come back after the games are over and we'll discuss it some more.
You're watching 5 Star Live, presented by East Tennessee Spine and Sport, Tennessee's #1 high school football show. Live on location from the biggest game of the week. Live interviews from coaches and players, along with highlights, predictions, and up-to-date information about this week's biggest games. Your hosts, Jesse Smithy and Kevin Smith, with decades of experience covering and coaching high school sports, along with a 5-star preps team, will break down region outlooks and what's to come for your favorite prep football teams and top players. Now, get ready for the most comprehensive high school football coverage in Tennessee on 5 Star Live.
Are you ready for some football?
We're ready for some football, baby.